For those not familiar, when we say CHEK practitioner and you're a trainer you're a certifier. So can you just give us a little synopsis about what exactly that means and how it's unique?
Oh gosh. Well, CHEK stands for Corrective Holistic Exercise and Kinesiology. You can also interchange the K for Kidra, which is Turkish for soul guide. It is a education that you can span out between 4 to 12 years, really a lifetime. For me, it took 10 years to complete all of the CHEK Institute's offerings. There's a few legs of the school. One is integrative movement science. So, thinking about like physical therapy and osteopath and sports medicine. Another one is holistic lifestyle coaching, which is a 3 year journey. And this is much about the organs, traditional Chinese medicine. It's a mix of things. And then when you get all of that science underneath your belt, then we learn a lot of the psychology and the shamanism and the energy medicine that I think truly needs to be present for healing to take place.
Yes, and hence your opening statement that, you kind of do so many things. And that's one of the beauties and the reasons why the whole Czech philosophy and people that are trained in that system are often the most effective because it's such a broad stroke. It touches on so many things. And I mean, I think Paul Chek was actually like a pioneer in the use of the term holistic. And correct me if I'm wrong, but, because back in the day when I started as a personal trainer, I think it was like the 80s, it was about like, you don't talk about diet because you'll get sued or whatever. And it was just about the exercise. But it's like, good Lord, how do we not pay attention to the sleep? And maybe you can talk about the 6 foundational principles, which are so basic. But Czech was one of the first that was like, wait a second, we've got to properly train these people who are really either helping or hurting people about really all the dynamics that's involved in someone's life.
Right. And, by doing that, and then these Czech coaches coming into the position of what like we would think about as a trainer, even though there's so much more, we're seeing our trainers 2 to 3 times a week. We don't see doctors or our hairstylists. Some people see their psychologists once a week, but when you're working with this person consistently, for them to have that background of knowledge where they can touch on all those areas, because it's a will, and you have to have all the spokes. You can't just exercise and feel better if you're not fueling your body properly and resting your body properly. So
I love that. The wheel won't roll, if a couple of the spokes are bent, right? I mean, that's a great analogy.
yeah, well, and just a lot of people will end up working with me because they have anxiety or depression, thinking that's something they're going to talk through or do some art therapy around. And it turns out they have a blood sugar imbalance. Everything is just deeply connected. And if you pull only one little root of the weed without looking at all of its little tendrils that are in the soil and pull it from the base, then you're not going to get lasting results.
I love that. Another great analogy, Nicole.